Episode 8, entitled Change Now!
Transformations.
Transformations.
A general discussion, not a 3x3, just a general discussion.
Yeah, just general discussion. Two of us. One of us couldn't be here. He was supposed to be, but then he ditched us. He left us alone.
He did.
He's no butterfly, he's a caterpillar.
Probably, ain't
Metamorphosis.
That's
a way of transforming.
Yeah, the butterfly do it.
Yeah.
The butterfly
but
do
fuck
it.
that.
The frog do it.
They do. I forget about the frogs.
I forget frogs don't just like they're not baby frogs. I mean they are baby frogs, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're just the baby frog is the tadpole.
Mm.
Does someone else do it?
I don't know. I want to look it up now.
The butterfly, I know the butterfly and the tadpole. I think I think I heard somewhere the axolotl changes into a salamander.
Amphibians. Yeah.
Yeah. Because all the amphibians.
Grasshoppers, dragonfly, apparently.
Probably. Yeah, right. Well, I suppose the bugs, like the flies,
a lot
and
of bugs
and
do
shit,
it.
they become that larvae shit, and then they become asshole.
Ladybugs do it.
Ladybugs.
Mayfly. The peacock spider.
Peacock spider.
Yeah. Flatfish. A fish doesn't. What?
A fish. Oh.
A fish.
Fish.
Yeah, frogs. Good one. Some flamingo.
A flamingo? What?
Yeah, because I think when flamingos are born, they're not as pink.
Ah, yeah, I suppose, yeah. Well, then I suppose if it's just changing like that, I suppose then, like, pretty much everything changes, doesn't it?
Yes, but I think it's the way it either changes or the way they grow.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, this one's saying giant panda. Which you're looking at the image of a baby giant panda. It's like, what the? That's a big change. What's that giraffe neck they have? I like how we started on real life things instead of doing the normal thing and starting with Dragon Ball.
I mean, if you're under a certain faith, then you know we can judge God's writing of the world and what he's done and how he's done it. I think he's done things alright, but I think it's a bit balanced, but some of the things die out, so they're shit. Do you know what I mean? Not enough screen time.
Yep. I don't know. Well, the first thing I usually think of when it comes to transformations, I think, is just generally shonen. Like, very big, popular shonen. There are some that don't do it as much, like, My Hero I don't think really has transformations. They just more have, like, either alternate costumes, which isn't a transformation. That's just, you got a new, you got a new suit. You got a new suit. Goku has a new gi. I don't call that fucking transformation.
I wonder why. I wonder why that trope is sort of such a popular one.
I think definitely Dragon Ball brought it into it.
Yeah, probably.
It also adds this level of... it adds this level of mystery that they have something more, something unseen, something unpredictable that just kind of makes you go hype.
Yeah.
But I think it works the best in Dragon Ball because you kind of know, especially nowadays, if you're gonna watch Dragon Ball, you know Super Saiyan's coming, but you never know fucking when unless that's spoiled for you. And when it does finally come, it's like, oh, what the fuck is this? It's very good, very nice. And Dragon Ball has become the poster child of just transformations with all their fucking Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, which is, again, another epic one when that was first introduced. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. They were about Ultra Instinct as well, partially.
I think, one other thing, I think they also creates, it gives the audience a sense of understanding the stakes. In the sense that, if you see Goku in, meeting somebody, meeting a fighter or an opponent, and he immediately goes, fights a bit, and then he immediately goes, I don't know, Super Saiyan Blue or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fuck, we know it's this sort of fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that kind of threat?
If he just stays in, I don't know, Super Saiyan 1 or something, it sort of gives you the idea, okay, he's just playing with him or whatever. And that carries over to other things as well.
Yeah.
If you see someone immediately use something powerful, it's like, fuck. It's we now immediately recognize that they are on this level. It's sort of like it's not the same thing, but it's similar in the sense that when you have things in like Naruto, when people call characters Kage level, it's like it's there to say, well, they're on the level of Kage.
Yeah.
This is what you're sort of dealing with. This is the power you're sort of looking at.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good way to use transformations.
Well, Dragon Ball uses a fucking lot, because not only is it like Super Saiyan, you also got Ozaru, you have they raise the stakes as well when it comes to Frieza, because it's like, oh, Frieza has this amount of transformations. What's his final form gonna look like? What's his final form gonna be? How powerful is he gonna be in his final form? He's already fucking ridiculous.
How big is he gonna be? Is he gonna be this massive monster? No.
No. And he just bulked up from there, and then we got gold eventually.
Oh
god. Huh. Dragon Ball's an interesting one. Because then you also got like what? I guess fusing as well. It's partially a transformation.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because at the same time, it's like it's not a real transformation, but it's a combination of two people who can then further transform usually. Like Gotenks going Super Saiyan 3.
I think fusions are always nice to see. Simply because it's always interesting to see two characters, their abilities, everything they have, all their techniques and everything come together. You know, whether it be Goku and Vegeta fusing into one of the two and using both a Kamehameha mixed with a Final Flash. It's like, fuck, that's cool.
Speaking of metamorphosis, Cell metamorphosized. And literally all the Dragon Ball Z villains all transformed. All of them. All of them had different transformations. Boo was fat, then he was muscular. Then he just absorbed people to gain more and more randomness.
It's only really Super that's sort of, so far at least, from what I've seen.
Well, Beerus never had an alternate transformation because he just is ridiculously powerful, which I appreciate. He doesn't have anything extra.
He doesn't need.
Then we got Frieza, who got introduced with gold, which is just a cool concept.
True, but he was sort of pre-existing.
Yeah, he was
so
pre-existing.
I don't count him.
Then what you have? You have alternates of what? Well, as well with with the human Saiyans. Like Trunks is doing something different, and all that crap.
Yeah.
Like even just Super Saiyan Rose, it's just an alternate form of Super Saiyan when these conditions are met.
True. Zamasu, I suppose, did transform, yeah.
And then the only other transformations really to come out of like the Tournament of Power, right? It's just Ultra Instinct.
True.
Which again is something like we had previously known about, but it's not something we recognize.
It's an interesting. I mean, Ultra Instinct's rather interesting. Because it is a transformation. I wouldn't say it's not. Yeah. But it's very unique among the transformations.
Yeah.
Because it's almost not about this new thing being added on. It's more
how you're doing.
The transformation is a result of him utilizing that power or getting into that frame of mind, into that flow of things.
Yeah.
Fucking when Roshi was trying to do it, and Roshi obviously, I mean, he didn't get to that level.
Roshi knows the basics to kind of
But it was the same idea.
It was the same principles,
concept. Yeah, it was just not as powerful because he's not Goku.
Yeah.
But it's because Goku could do it to the greater degree that sort of awakened his Ultra Instinct. That's why I think it's an interesting transformation. It's not the transformation that makes him more powerful. it's the fact that he reaches that powerful state, he transforms as a result, which is I tip my hat to Ultra Instinct.
Well, obviously, there's other. I feel like a lot of other shonen also do transformations. Bleach does transformations quite a lot, especially in terms of Espada and Quincy's. Not a lot of the actual Soul Reapers do change.
I sort of consider their Bankai as sort of the Zanpakuto.
Yeah, the Zanpakuto have alternate forms and they transform, but like So opposed to like actual physical transformations, I feel like that happens a lot more with Quincy's and the Espada and Naranka a lot more than anything else.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's harder to remember their transformations simply because I feel like there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
In terms of actual physical transformations.
And the problem I think that happens with the Espada and the Quincy's and all that is that when it comes to when it comes to the Soul Reapers and their Bankai, a lot of the time it's built up and there's heightened meaning to it. Be it Ikaku not wanting anyone else to know about his Bankai, to the anticipation of what's Kenpachi's Bankai, what's Kisuke's Bankai, what's Genryusai's Bankai.
They did Genryusai. I think they did Genryusai really well, especially because it's like the first time he ever fought was Jushiro and Kyoraku together, and they were just at a bloody standstill because they couldn't beat this monster of a man. But we never actually got to see the fight, and it did a really good job of building up to that fight when we actually got to see him properly use his power. Like he also got like dipped with the extinguisher, and it's like, oh, big man.
And that I think is what makes at least the Bankai almost infinitely more memorable than some of the Espadas.
Yeah.
The only one I remembered it was Grimjow's, and even then that was only like very hazily. I remember some more now simply because I'm watching the anime, but I don't, you know. Now, do I forget some Bankai? Maybe, but I still remember them more. I remember them awakening it. I remember, you know, it being a big deal.
It always means something on like a captain level.
The Espada, it's just sort of then.
Yeah, and in terms of transformations, there's no. It's just Ichigo really. When you think of transformations in Bleach, it's hard not to think about Ichigo.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of transforming, especially with his own Bankai, his actual form. Like when he finished Aizen, even Aizen went through a metamorphosis.
I suppose the Vizards also transformed to some extent. They get a mask.
Yeah.
They get a mask.
I mean, they transformed into more of a hollow when they first were holified.
Yeah, that's true. But
yeah,
I'm not talking about the general holification.
There's a lot of transformation.
The mask.
And even like our third missing man said in chat, because he's being a sneaky bastard. Some Bankai do actually change your actual form.
Oh yeah. I mean Toshiro's
is different, but he also gets the wings and shit.
But I get what you mean. What you mean.
He does get the wings and crap, but then there's also
what happens in the final arc? I suppose that
But characters like Byakuya Kuchiki, his doesn't really change like himself and their appearance whatsoever. It's just obviously his sword changes and it extends a lot, but only his sword transforms really, not him. You have a little bit with someone like Sophone who actually like becomes one with her sword, with her Shikai and Bankai, getting the bazooka or the like needle point that she has on her finger. Like she more fuses with it. Saijin Komamura, he gets the big giant. He gets the big Susanoo, the big realistic Susanoo. A lot of them do just have like their own swords that transform and nothing else around them. Yoruichi transformed.
Oh yeah, she does too. Oh, she does. Yeah. She hers is
the way she transformed. That's
a bit. Oh no, the way.
Peak. Right. Peak.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other than Ichigo, it's really hard to think about anything else. I think one of the more iconic things is when he transformed in the fight against Ulquiorra. When he went like full monster mode and raged.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He went full monster mode, raged, and just blasted Ulquiorra's head with a point blank zero.
I find I find he's that whole I forgot the name of it, that entire form quite interesting. But I feel like a lot of actually, I shouldn't say a lot of but I feel like quite a few shonen protagonists tend to have like this rage like monster form. I mean Naruto is a great example.
Naruto, I feel like, was the most inspired off of Dragon Ball in terms of transformation. Like, you just look at the Raikage and the way their fucking lightning style works. Like, it's like having Dragon Ball Ki, and even their hair kind of raises up.
That's true. But then, I mean, I suppose the other ones are quite unique. I mean, the tailed beast ones, not Naruto's Kyuubi cloak, but his actual the other one when he goes ballistic and what everyone else does.
Yeah, like
I mean that
all
looks
the
cool.
tailed beasts can do that, right?
Cool anyway. Yeah, but it's more I find it quite cool.
Yeah, like the different, and then there's also like the other one with like the bones on that, even like the more monstrous form. Like they have the bones
yeah. And I like that whole evolution. I still find it annoying how they made Naruto unique, in the sense that that Kurima's cloak is all glowy and shit. I didn't like that. I think the other one.
I do wish like. I think I'd be more fine with it if they showed us more of them. Like if Saiken's one did the same thing but with like a white cloak or like a white bubbly thing. I think that would be more interesting than just like, because we only really got to see two of them, or even like Matatabi, the two tails, because that's just a fire cat. That transformation should just be a fucking flame cat. Like I can partially understand because like the bull octopus of Gyuki is essentially more muscles and it looks a lot more like that. And I was kind of fine with that, but making him a bit different and even just the full transformation was weirder, just so we could actually see Naruto instead of just seeing Kurama. It's like, why? What makes him so special, huh?
And it's but I think in general the Kyuubi transformations are still
Mother again, all the 10 tails. Becoming 10 tails to jerky.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a big fan of the appearance of that of
10 tails.
I'm not a big fan of the 10 tails Jinchuriki appearance, like how they become all wide and fucking.
They look like a plant.
They do.
One of the earlier transformations we actually had was the curse mark.
Curse mark is mad. Curse mark is sick. That was a good.
It was very weird at the beginning. Cool. I was really uneasy with Sasuke in the beginning when he was just like his hands were like growing and shit. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. But it's.
But then like once he got like the full curse transformation, then it was really cool. And then even the other like the four people that the team were fighting, like Choji fought the fat one, and all of them transformed as well into different monsters.
It was I think the base curse mark with like the brown not the brown, black fucking scribbles when all the patterns go across them, and how every person with a curse mark, it looks different. I thought that was quite nice, quite cool.
One thing that I was heavily thinking about when we were talking about Bleach was actually Hunter x Hunter and Gon.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking, is there any other real transformations besides that and Biscuit? You have alternative things like when Meruem grows shit on himself.
Yeah. I was thinking of that, but other than that, I don't.
There's no real. I don't really see a lot of Nen abilities that actually transform yourself to anything. There's nothing really, is there?
Nah. Well, maybe.
There might be.
There might be some side thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Phaeton! Doesn't Phaeton sort of?
Does he?
Doesn't he sort of transform? I thought he doesn't. He got like, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. I thought he transformed a little bit, but I could be tripping.
I think he just takes off more clothes. It got very hot in that kiln.
Yeah. Got very toasty.
As our third host was saying in chat, One Piece does offer a lot of, I feel like, unique ways of transforming. Because he mentioned Monster Luffy and Thriller Bark, the whole shadow shit being put into him and him gaining more skills. Or even how Chopper uses his Zoan with the drug to gain more changes. And even Zoans themselves are just about change.
True. That's true.
Changing into 3 different forms. Of course, Chopper's different because he drugged himself. But still. But still, that is very...
Yeah.
Giraffe cube, yes.
I would agree that I do like their
like Zoans themselves. Zoans are one of the biggest ones in terms of One Piece when it comes to transforming. Other than that, you have Luffy's gears.
Yeah.
There are some other things I won't say because obviously I don't want to spoil things.
I suppose we would consider the gears transform somewhat.
More the later gears.
Yeah.
The later gears are definitely more.
Gear 1, I probably would say it's more.
There is no Gear 1. It's Gear 2.
Not Gear 1, sorry, 2. That's what I'm saying.
Gear 2 just makes him like, just pumps his blood faster, makes him just go zoom, 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 zoom. Gear 2 makes himself blow up. Gear 3, yeah. Gear 3, sorry, blows him up. Ooh. Yeah, because it's mainly Zoans though. Even I'm just trying to think of like, what other ones really transform? Because you have transformation, but then you also have like added on abilities to it, like when they use Haki and shit, like their shit becomes black, their arms and swords become black. That's not a real transformation. That's just gaining extra. That's just.
Their arm is transforming, it's becoming black.
No.
What do you think of? Okay. I mean, on the topic of metamorphosis, there's also Pokemon and their evolutions.
Pokemon.
And even on top of that, mega evolutions.
And on top of that, Dynamax. Alternate forms, regional variants.
I suppose Dynamax is a transformation.
Partially, yeah.
Albeit
that one's going through soup.
Rather,
they have to eat the soup to transform.
Although Gigamax adds a bit more to it. It's not just growing in size. It's also adding a bit more, but still. What do you think of evolution?
Evolution in Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's a unique way of kind of bonding with a Pokemon as well. I feel like there's this bondness because as much as like there are a lot of Pokemon with one evolutionary line, there are also a lot with multiple, and I always find them more interesting. Like Eevee. Eevee, for example. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect example. You can make that little shit whatever the hell you want. you could just do whatever the hell you want. It's the evolution Pokemon.
I must say, it is a problem with me that, I mean, it's not as bad as anymore. It's not as bad anymore, but I used to have a problem where whenever I'd play a Pokemon game, I would never catch Pokemon that only had one evolution. That only that didn't evolve, I should say.
Oh.
I found them extremely boring.
Yeah.
And except the legendaries were different. I had looked at legendaries different, but if it was like a Farfetch'd, I'd be like, no, boring. You don't evolve.
Well, Farfetch'd now evolves.
But
although that way of evolving is annoying.
I just felt I just felt as if that when they evolved, it was interesting seeing them go. It's why I liked fucking what's his name? Magikarp.
Oh, okay.
Because he went from fish to sea dragon.
Yeah.
And I found that
the Japanese cool. Myth of how dragons should work. About the carp going through a torii gate and becoming a flying water demon.
And
Well, you also like Aerodactyl, and Aerodactyl doesn't transform.
That's true, but But then I sort of see the not fossil Pokemon, but those sort of Pokemon as sort of
special.
I don't know.
They're a little bit special.
I don't know. Some Pokemon I just don't give a shit about it if they don't evolve, but some I do. I don't know. I'm making excuses. I don't know.
I think it's more interesting as well, like with Pokemon that have a unique transformation way, because obviously you have the normal way, which is levels, which is always interesting. It's even more interesting, like when some starter Pokemon don't evolve at what you think they would, like what. Some of the grass Pokemon evolve a lot earlier than the other starters. Like Venusaur evolves before level 36. But even then you also have stones, and there are a lot of stones. There's leveling up near a specific place or stone or rock formation. There's that way of evolving. There's trade evolving. There's trading with an item specifically attached to them for evolving. There were a lot of more newer ways, like in Sword and Shield of evolving. Like there's a Galarian like Slowbro and Slowking in the DLC that like you need to get like a bunch of twigs or whatever, make some shit, put it on, and it'll evolve or whatever. Like I said before, like Farfetch has a really annoying way because you have to get like 3 crits or whatever. One of the ones I find more interesting is like Tyrogue. Tyrogues, because like it's all about stats, and because Tyrogue can evolve into 3 different ways: Hitmontop, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee.
Yeah.
And it's always about the stats. If the attack's stronger, I think it becomes a Hitmonchan. If the defense is stronger, I think it becomes Hitmonlee. And if the stats are balanced, it becomes a Hitmontop. I might be wrong about that. One of them's attack, one of them's defense.
Balance is top. Balance is top.
Balance is definitely top. I'm not
Which
sure.
One?
I think Hitmonlee is.
Whichever one's the kicking. I forget the
Hitmonlee.
Whichever one's the kicking one. Is I think the attack.
Is it?
I believe, yeah. Boxing one is defense, I think. Because I thought the boxing one was attack, but then I feel like I remember looking it up, and it just wasn't.
It's like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, I needed, because I was just trying to complete my Pokedex, I needed a Hitmontop, and it took me forever just to fucking get the stats right on the get the stats right to make it even to get my top.
That would be hard. That'd be hard to...
Even a lot of pseudo legendaries, it takes a lot for them to evolve into a full.
That's fair enough. They're fucking pseudo legendaries.
Yeah.
You've got powerful fucking stats. And then there's Mega Evolution, which I think, I don't know. I feel like that's always reminded me of just Dragon Ball, but just more Pokemon-esque, them going into this heightened state, or even like Ultimates from Ben 10. I find they're just really interesting because they're a way for certain Pokemon, especially Pokemon with only one evolution, to have this extra bit to them And it's in an interesting way. It's a balance.
Absol.
Choosing what Pokemon to Mega Evolve.
Yeah.
When
they gain, they put the potential of gaining a different thing. Even Primal was very interesting, and I wish they did more with Primal.
True.
Other than just them, because I feel like Primal is such a cool way to do it. Because because Megas is kind of like, we don't know what a Mega is. If it's an enhancement or if it's actually restoring something. With Primals, it is actually restoring something, a Pokemon, to a previous state. Yeah. Which is why, like, that was very interesting to me. And I wish, like, they introduced, like, Primals for other Pokemon.
Or just give more ultimates, more legendaries, Megas.
Well, I can understand with some of them, like, why they don't. Like, I can understand with, like, Arceus, Palkia, Dialga, Giratina, because they're already meant to be in their fucking origin state. Mew as well wouldn't make a lot of sense to have a Mega.
You could probably do it if you did something else. If you tried to do some other.
Yeah, Ho-Oh and Lugia would make more sense to have legendaries because they're more guardians than these omni beings.
Yeah.
Kirim in Pokemon Black and White is a very interesting one because like Kirim, Zekrom, and Reshiram were all once one dragon, which we still have never seen, but I think it would be very interesting to see how like that would work because even like Kirim, he partially transforms as long as he gets the attachment from either Zekrom or Reshiram and changes how Kirim is because Kirim is like the main like what was left of the original being after the three of them split. Yeah. I don't know.
I think yes. I think Pokemon has interesting ones.
Pokemon does the same shit. It also holds a lot of interest because there are so many Pokemon you can have, or you can just refuse evolution.
Oh yeah, true.
Just have a Bulbasaur. It adds to that. It does add to that kind of thing where it's like, oh, I want to challenge myself. I want to go through this entire Pokemon game with just babies. The fact that you don't actually have to evolve them, like, I think that's another reason why Pokemon is more interesting. Not a lot of other games, I feel like, do evolution to that level.
If the game did that, they would just say no, evolve them. You don't get
Digimon does. Digimon's interesting.
Oh, and some games I think they might let you do it, but then they'll let you change the appearance.
Yeah.
To a younger form or something like that.
Yeah.
But generally, they would probably make you do it. What other series are there with interesting transformations? I suppose there's the obvious one.
What Alice Class, Kora Sensei?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's the obvious one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he transforms.
He does transform. I like seeing when he gets.
He transforms into a ball, yeah.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Transforms into a ball.
His ultimate form.
Ball.
A ball.
Ball.
I mean, other than him, there's not really. I mean, I don't think. Oh, I suppose there's the transformations where some of the some of the ones that have the tentacles in them. I suppose that's sort of a transformation to some extent.
Yeah.
It's more. Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
As our friend was saying, he said the Hulk and Attack on Titan. Them transforming into Titans, and obviously the Hulk Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk through anger.
I'll tell you what. I'll give it to Hulk. It's pretty cool. No, I've always found it quite cool. Him going angry and then he.
Like, you can't really count Iron Man as a transformation because that's more armor. That's not.
I would only consider a transformation with the one that he draws in his bones. Doesn't he have one where he stores it inside?
Yeah.
I would sort of consider that. The only one I would sort of consider.
But even still, it's kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Superman can partially transform. Like, if he's like... But only partially when he gains more radiation or whatever from the yellow sun. He just gets a little bit more power. He absorbs on power so he becomes stronger. But that's not even a full transformation.
I mean, Alex. We could say that the armor itself transforms. That's fair enough. But I guess there's sort of, I suppose, like a bunker where they transform, but it's not Stark himself who transforms. It's the armor.
Or even still, it's itself. Like, even with some of the armor, when they just have like missile launches, I don't feel like that's a transformation. That's just a part of the armor.
But then if you were like a cyborg, then that's fair enough.
Oh yeah, if you have more cybernetic enhancement.
And then you get like a missile coming out of your way. Fucking
Like partially Blue Beetle from DC has more of a transformation with like the bug, and then it just covers him. It is armor as well, but even the weapons can change on it. Like it, or even like Venom as well, partially like how like Venom can partially change in how it looks and appears. Yes, I was thinking actually about Genos. Because even Genos gets like upgrades where he transforms and crap. In that. Saitama, he puts on a wig. That's a transformation. That's a...
He does put a dummy.
He puts on a wig. That's his best transformation.
Nah, his transformation is he changes his expression ever so slightly, and all of a sudden he's cracking mountains.
Yeah, I was thinking also like definitely about Black Clover. Black Clover does have some transformations, and obviously you wouldn't know, but they do have some transformations, which we won't talk about for some reasons. But still, yeah, they definitely do. Like I said before, My Hero, they don't really have transformations. They have some, partially due to some events, but no real transformations. A lot of them
Doctor Who's transformations.
The TARDIS.
Really does.
Why did straight away go to the TARDIS instead of regeneration?
The TARDIS can transform.
It's just in my brain. When I think of a transformation, I feel like it should be stronger than what previously became before. I always forget like other things can transform and just not be better. Like the Doctor from Doctor Who.
He more transforms to not fucking die.
Yeah. I love what Alex said. Tien, Shenhan, and Krillin transformed into useless fucking characters.
So what you're saying is Krillin and Tien regenerated backwards.
Billy Batson transformed.
Oh, he does too, doesn't
he? He does. That's
true.
like a pure transformation right there. That's just... Shut up, Alex. Shut up. So many JoJo characters
transformed into a donut. Oh, then there's... I just remembered it. But Sage Mode from Naruto. Even though we talked about Naruto, but Sage Mode.
No, we can still go. We can just talk... We can just rant at this point about random transformations. Sage Mode's a cool one. It's it's a weird transformation, in the fact that it doesn't change you a lot.
No.
But I really like it.
It depends how good you are at it. If you're good at it, it barely transforms you.
Yes.
But if you're shit at it, then if you're really shit at it, you become a frog.
Like Jiraiya was pretty shit at it, so he gained some like frog features when he did it, and he needed the frog's help to maintain it to normal tour. Whereas Naruto was using shadow clones to do shit because Kurama wouldn't let him. And then Kurama just kind of did it for him. Yeah, it was just weird.
I love that, how Kurama could just gather the sage energy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was cool. Just looking at my shelves of manga. no real JoJo characters transforms unless you count like Dio transforming into a vampire. Then okay, yeah, sure, transform. Go ahead.
Well,
What?
I mean,
Why? I keep getting stuck on Hunter x Hunter. I'm thinking that why is there? I feel like there's something I'm missing. Like there might be a transformation I'm just missing. Like in JoJo's, some stands can evolve. We already talked about Gon.
I suppose Killua's hair sort of changes, but it more gets charged with electricity.
Yeah, that's not transforming. Jujutsu Kaisen, our MC changes a bit because he has a diamond inside of him. He has a diamond. Any lanterns change? Yeah, not really.
Doesn't like Ion change a little bit?
Oh yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Ion, no crap, like power.
I like doesn't he manifest that fucking shit?
Yeah.
That fucking green the Green Lantern version of like Parallax.
Yeah.
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 It does that. But I don't think any of them else really.
Martian Manhunter. Shapeshifting. Shapeshifting is a weird version of transforming. Which, again, it's not really about, like, becoming something stronger. It's just more about changing the way you look. What you get?
Good old Martian Manhunter. What's his name? Clayface. He sort of shifts and transforms.
Elongated Man, Plastic Man.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Fuck. The guy, the man.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Yeah, he sort of gets,
one of the shittest ones out of all of those who can shift and transforms. In terms of actual power, because Plastic Man, I think his power is better. Simply for the fact that his shape-shifting is a lot better. But obviously, if they were to fight, I think Mr. Fantastic would win, just simply for the fact that he's smarter than that dumbass.
What other, like...
Alright, fine. Talk about Ben 10.
I mean, there's transformation in that. His entire power is becoming alien.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit torn when it comes to Ultimates though, because like on one hand I like them, I think they're cool, especially like some of them like Ultimate Echo and Ultimate Big Chill.
Those
but
two
then
are
at the same time, it's like it can be a bit gimmicky. It's like it sort of felt like they were trying to sell more toys with that.
Yeah.
Which is it's okay, but I don't know.
One of my more.
Oh no, they didn't. They brought it back in Omniverse.
I feel like the way they did it and introduced it was interesting as well. How there were like when we went to the Spider Monkey planet, there was that gorilla spider who was kind of like their king and whatever. Like he's like the peak of them. But it's like how the fuck are these things the same breed?
You know what's very interesting about the Ultimatrix though is that so Azimuth was making the Ultimatrix, but he didn't actually put the ultimate feature in. That was Albedo, because when he sees the Ultimatrix, he remarks that the evolutionary function is asking for trouble. So I've always wondered what Azimuth's Ultimatrix would have actually done compared to the Omnitrix. Would it have just been slightly improved, or would it have actually done something else that wasn't the evolutionary function?
Interesting.
But anyway, I found it interesting because in the beginning Ben had a time limit. He had a time limit and he couldn't just transform over and over again.
Yeah.
And then later Omni
just gets a lot more aliens and crap.
Yeah. But later Omnitrix they let him switch mid-fight. They let him transform more often. I felt like in Alien Force they gave him more reign, but in Omniverse I don't know. I think they pulled it back a little bit. he tended to time out more, and it tended. The Ultimatrix, was a shitter version, so fair enough.
Oh.
Fair enough, it had glitches, but it and the new Omnitrix I felt stuffed up more. The Alien Force Omnitrix tended to be much more stable.
No.
Even though it's Ben's fault that it gets the wrong alien, but still.
You know who transforms us? The Sailor Scouts.
I do too, don't they? And then the one Kill, the ones who took that idea and made it a bit kinkier.
I think it's more interesting if you have a unique way of transforming. You know what I mean?
Are there any Keijo transformations?
Not really. There's Mira Jane and her Satan Soul from Fairy Tail.
Oh, there is two in it.
And all of the Strausses just use a transformation magic.
Yeah, true. I thought that was
past the Transformers. Curse me.
Yeah. Mira Jane's was quite cool. I mean, it's not so much of a transformation, but I mean, hers is sort of. It's not a transformation, but her, yeah.
We haven't talked about probably one of the greatest transformations of all time. The 8 Gates.
Oh my god, yeah, true.
That is a great transformation. True. We just skipped over that one completely. That's
true.
That is a purely great transformation.
Used by an absolute mad dog.
I also like the way he kind of talks about it and the way it looks and how it correlates. Like, a lot of the early ones look like green and crap, having like the summer green of youth and whatever, the bright shining essence of youth. And then you also have like going into his red stage, the 8th gate of his blood, and it's like the autumn leaves dying and falling, symbolizing like what this actually means for Guy. I really liked the way like they talked about it more so, as alongside with him actually using that transformation, because he just fully went rage mode. Or even like the 7th gate of shock was different and crap.
And I like the progression of them, how they sort of get a bit stronger. They get a bit that you can see they all visually do something, and they all get him to be stronger. And with some of the later ones, each one introduces a new ability, a new technique, I should say, like Morning Peacock and the Tiger one. That's those were cool.
Is that Hiradora or some shit?
Yeah, Hiradora. Yeah, that's the Tiger one.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other one.
Yeah.
It's something in Japanese that I don't understand. But yeah, and then he's got the Night Guy. Oh, and he goes Night Guy and he does all the kicks. And Mother almost feared for his life. One of the few times Mother got scared. So that is quite the feat, you know.
So I was looking at a list of like, transformations. Let's have a look. Anime transformations. Ooh. And like when I went into it, like thinking, all right, how many Dragon Ball ones, and where were they gonna place? And all of them are just bloody. Like all the Dragon Ball ones are in the top 10. Golden Frieza number 6, Super Saiyan number 7. It's like,
what? They put Golden Frieza above Super Saiyan?
Yeah. But then, like, you scroll
it's my
a
boy
bit more
Frieza.
down. 3 is Super Saiyan God, 2 is Fusion Technique, and 1 is Ultra Instinct. On this list.
I personally prefer God and Blue over Ultra Instinct. God, I think is probably my favorite so far. Just because of the aura. Just because of the aura. When he's got the aura going on at the same time, that is sick as. But then Blue, in the anime when he transforms into Blue, where they glow fully blue, and then the glow starts to like peel off.
Yeah.
To show them. Oh, that's it. But yeah, but I think the one that had the best transformation moment is probably Super Saiyan 3. That scene in DBZ was where the entire Earth is just shaking. The seas are getting kicked up everywhere. Glass is breaking in cities like miles away. And then you got Mr. Satan just he thinks it's an earthquake. He thinks it's a force of nature. And everyone's saying, Goku, fucking relax. If you keep doing this, the earth is gonna break. Yeah. That was very hype. That was very, very, very fucking hype.
It's real Chad transformation. Hercule Satan becoming Super Saiyan.
That is amazing. But you know, you just reminded me of another transformation.
What?
An absolute Chad transforms, and that is Chad transforming.
He does
have a transformation, yeah.
And you know what that made me think of? The most mysterious man in anime. Someone we just don't know who the hell he is, but he has so much power. Sniper King.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, I mean, you never know. He could have Super Saiyan 10. You never know.
No, he is Ultra Instinct 10.
Ultra Instinct. Yeah, no, yeah. You never know. Sniper King, man. Like, what the fuck? That must be extreme power, right here.
It definitely is.
I was waiting for Alex to make a response. Yes.
We're just talking about all his favourite characters and their stupid transformations. I mean, there are other forms of transformations as well, like body transformation, when a character goes from either skinny or fat to muscular or whatever. And I think one of the biggest ones in terms of One Piece definitely is Usopp. Because Usopp was very skinny at the beginning, and over time, even in like Alabasta, you actually got to see like his muscles actually developed partially. Like he has abs or something.
Yeah,
like
what's that other
by
guy?
Skype, yeah.
Fuck, I forgot his name.
Who?
Kobe, is he? No.
Oh yeah, Kobe. Yeah.
Yeah, he becomes.
Yeah, he's a wimpling kid, and he's the
fucking
Chad, ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like in the times, during when they were separated, Usopp just became morbidly obese. And then when he came back, he finally he has the food there, so he can just properly bodybuild himself up, and he just has muscles now. And it's just kind of cool that this character, who is essentially like who's the most similar to the audience in terms of how useful they are, as well as kind of being the one who would probably be scared on this pirate crew of monsters. Character progression? That's no transformation.
Even
character progression.
Even aside from One Piece character transformation, I mean, you got like some like Konohamaru. You know, Boruto's a bit, but Konohamaru and Boruto is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. He becomes a bit of a Chad.
Yeah. The only thing is like, I feel like he's very easy to get sidelined, because it's like he's not gonna become the Hokage. Let's be honest.
No.
That was cool. He just gets kind of like kicked to the side a bit, and he's just like a Naruto clone. Yeah. It would be more interesting if he was like unique and shit. Like, it makes more sense with like Azuma's daughter who is very similar to how Azuma fights, but she also uses a lot of her mother's techniques of genjutsu, which is really cool and unique, how those two things came together to create this new thing. And that's obviously the daughter of Azuma and Kurenai.
Yeah, I love how it went from transformations to character. But I mean, that's the base of.
Yeah.
It's just not an instant transformation.
I mean, in Gintama, Gintoki becomes a woman for a bit. That's a transformation. Is it not? Is it not?
Men become woman, that's transformation.
That is a transformation, yeah. Is there any transformations in Harry Potter? I mean, yeah, there are. Yeah. What am I thinking? Of course there are. You had the bloody Wormtail guy, and as well as the entire class. Or well, that like prongs and I forgot what they're called.
What's this? Sorry.
In Harry Potter, they transform into their animals or familiar or whatever. They like
the animators.
Yeah, James Potter turns into the stag. You have the best boy, Sirius Black becomes a dog. Go poof woof.
And then you got
Lupin werewolf.
Well, then you got McGonagall.
Yeah, McGonagall as well. Her whole entire class is about that, isn't it? The Animagus transformation. She has a class on that. No. Does she not have a class on that?
I don't think so. She teaches them about it, but she doesn't. Animagus aren't that common in that world.
Yeah.
It's like only because it's hard to do. It's hard to do and it's like dangerous, I think. Yeah. But it's also like you've got to register.
Yeah.
So some people do it illegally, like that reporter bitch. She does it illegally.
What does she transform into?
Beetle.
Oh.
Because what she does is she transforms into the beetle to sneak around. Hide from people, yeah. And that's how she like reports on shit that she shouldn't know. Because she's just a fucking beetle.
I mean, Phoenix is transformed in mythology.
Ah, that's true. Yeah. They go from they're pretty much like regeneration.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of idea where you're transforming into something usually younger. Usually younger.
Usually. I thought I was supposed to get younger. I am younger.
But I mean, those transformations are quite cool. Where it's something that it's more of a it's more of a you do it to become younger, or you do it to become better.
You know what's a cool transformation?
Instead of just
you know what's a cool transformation?
What?
Perseus's sword. Pen to sword.
Oh, that's true. Do it even themselves transform?
I don't think so.
What's his name? Frank Zhang. Frank Zhang. He transforms. He can shapeshift.
I suppose.
But other than that, I don't think anyone has a. I can't remember if anyone has a transformation, like something like Super Saiyan or something of that nature. I think that's rather. Yeah. But transformation in general, I mean, I think transformations like Dragon Ball and all that, I think that's rather an anime thing.
Yeah.
It's Western. They'll do it, but
it's different.
Yeah.
Or like what I was saying, I feel like it's very different about like the way you transform and how it can be viewed as different things. Like, sure, they transform, but you can just call it shapeshifting, for example. That's one thing. With Western and the amount of media I've consumed about from the East as well, for me, anytime I think about transformations, I just think about becoming something better. Otherwise, I would just use different words, like regeneration with phoenixes, and even the Doctor, or shape-shifting. There will be very different times when it's a clear... When I think of transformation, I think of specifically becoming something better. That's why I would say transformation for someone like Billy Batson to Shazam. Because that's purely becoming something better. That's becoming your peak self. To the point where Black Adam, for example, he became Black Adam during the Egyptian time. And he just fucking lives out his life throughout all the ages. He should be dead because of his age, but that doesn't matter. He could just stay in that god form. How many times have you seen someone go Super Saiyan? All the time. I see it all the time. Yeah. My turtwig going into.
But I think a lot of transformations.
It's iconic.
A lot of them. I think tend to take from Dragon Ball, and they take from what Dragon Ball tries to accomplish. Well, not what it tries to accomplish.
That's why I think it's more interesting when it's a different way to transform, like with the drugs, or it's a specific aspect of something else, like the Zoan fruits in One Piece.
Yeah.
Whereas you have like a demon inside of you and you just partially transform, saying, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. That just feels like a normish thing.
And even with Dragon Ball, their transformations are generally, except for like Frieza and Ozaru, their transformations are very simple. I want to say they just sort of change their hair color and maybe make them a little bit more buff.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, some other things tend to try and transform people into crazy shit. You know, like with Naruto trying to go with the tail beast and all that. But then again, they'll try and sometimes they'll keep a more minimalistic transformation. Yeah, a lot of time, because a lot of transformations come out of anger, or they come out of some sort of surge of emotion, which is copied from old Dragon Ball.
I mean, the pure state of Naruto's transformations didn't come out of emotion, like his not nine-tailed proper cloak. Well, it wasn't about emotion.
I think
that was just the power gained.
Like yeah.
Compared to how he went rage mode with that other cloak, the harder cloak to control. With Kurim's powers.
I've always sort of been thinking to myself, my actual thoughts on of power coming from emotion. You know what I mean? And how, like, as someone gets an angry, all of a sudden this power.
Hulk.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Hulk. But I mean more so when, you know, a character gets super pissed off and all of a sudden they get this power boost out of nowhere.
Yeah.
With something like Dragon Ball, it's not so bad because they were hyping it up. That entire arc, they were saying the Super Saiyan.
Well,
and
that was cheaper.
Then we finally get the Super Saiyan, and then we were expecting that.
Yeah.
Because Vegeta kept fucking hyping it up. But then sometimes transformations just come out of nowhere, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Why the fuck has he got this? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's power boost in general. That generally happens anyway. So a character gets annoyed, and then they get some fucking bullshit. They get some bullshit power. And I've been trying. To this day, I'm still contemplating how I feel about those type of transformations. Whether I think they're a good thing or whether they're something a bad thing. I think it.
I mean,
my current status depends how the anime handles it.
Yeah, I think it's because a lot more of transformations. They come more out of, even when it is emotion based. A lot of them have something extra alongside that. Like you mentioned Naruto. Naruto obviously has Kurama to add to that thing, and he's seeking out his power through Naruto, and he's trying to break free just by seeping his power out, making him use his power more, which of course in turns makes him a bit more rage mode. Or you have other ones who also have demons inside of them, and that alters how they kind of appear and how their power works. But if it's something like, let's say, Fairy Tail, for example, because they do emotion a lot, and in terms of how they transform, which is different because it's more coming out of a magic that was never truly explained to us. And it kind of feels very weird when they do transform, like when they go into their Dragon Force state, out of anger, not out of anything else. It feels weirder than something else, where there is that extra thing to kind of add to it. Obviously, it's different when it's like Mirror Chain and crap, because that's about her actual magic is transformation.
Yeah.
Or even just transforming into a dragon in Fairy Tail. Again, it's very different because all that shit happened to. Yeah, in One Piece, usually the transformations are always due to something. There's always something that happens. Like, all of Luffy's gears are a matter of him just thinking about how to use his power better. That's essentially it. That's how he uses his gears.
I'll give credit to the gears because it's not a transformation that is inherent. It's a transformation that he's developed.
Yeah.
And I always like it when characters develop their techniques.
It's also very Luffy.
It's why I like the Rasen Shuriken.
Yeah.
It's a technique that isn't inherent. It isn't a technique that was never done before. No one had ever done that before. But now it's been done because Naruto actually took the time to, Naruto and Kakashi took the time to develop it and to
give some credit to Yamato.
Oh, Yamato, yeah. But Yamato was just there to make sure he didn't go off his nut. But yeah, I always appreciate it when things are created by the character. Because then it showcases the character more. It makes the character more interesting.
Yeah.
That they're able to, and just makes him not look like a complete dumbass.
Yeah. That's as well kind of like why like Nen is very interesting as well.
Yeah.
Because that applies the same kind of thing where it is just based on who you are and whatever you do. And then you have like other things like in Black Clover, your magic is kind of predetermined by your bloodline essentially. If someone previously had a fire magic, you're most likely gonna have the same type of magic. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
But it's very different in terms of how you actually use the magic depends on who you are. And I think that's one of the interesting parts of like why Black Clover's magic system is very interesting. Is because this aspect and your own personality can transform the way you actually use your magic or the way you do things. Like one person could have like spatial magic, creating a giant portal for everyone because they're a more open person and they like sharing with people. Or someone could just be a selfish bastard and open a portal from themselves and no one else can go into it. Or even just be an even absolute selfish bastard and no one can enter the portals. The portals are just basically black holes. Just voids. Because he doesn't share with anyone. So he just destroys. It's kind of like that kind of level of transforming and character growth as well. Because yes, character growth is a form of transformation, I think. Definitely.
I would say it is, yeah.
It's just
not the traditional
it's not
dream and become a transform, but it is a transformation. It is a transformation. It's going from one form into another, one thing into another thing.
Yeah. Changing your point of view, for example, you're transforming the way you think about something.
That's true.
Which again, I think definitely applies a lot more to Eastern anime media and all that crap. Because I'm just trying to think about comics right now. I'm thinking like, not a lot, unless you're in those specific niches of like Hulk or Shazam or whatever. There's not a lot of transforming like done.
No.
Because I feel like they spend more time with the character progression and things like that. Like Batman doesn't fucking transform. He doesn't need to. He's Batman. You with all the Green Lanterns, they don't really transform. They just kind of get a weapon.
I mean, he becomes a Black Lantern.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
like we struggle just to figure out something in Harry Potter.
I think Eastern tends to focus also. I mean, I shouldn't say Eastern. I should more specify Shonen. Shonen tends to focus more on the what is it? The fighting.
Yeah.
So it's gonna tend to focus on that aspect, and the transformations are generally a big part of fights because it's the character the protagonist or the antagonist getting stronger or more overpowered. And I think that's perhaps why the shonen tends to do that, and why it's more common in shonen.
Yes.
Than other
Obviously, manga. There's also more room in shonen to do that because it is one linear story, whereas comics is not.
But then you've also got Umaru.
Oh my fucking god!
And then I mean, her is a fantastic one, I must say. Going from good woman to sausage roll. I love the sausage roll.
Sausage roll.
It's very true. She's a sausage roll. She's a little sausage roll.
Gola.
But then it's also one of those. It's also one of those things where, because it's a comedy, it's sort of both metaphorical, but also sometimes I can't tell, because sometimes they look at her as if she's in the little shit, and sometimes they can't tell. Like fucking Kyrie can't tell that that sausage roll Umaru is bigger Umaru.
Yeah.
So it's both metaphorical, but it's also she actually becomes smaller when she puts on the hood and becomes, or not even when she puts on the hood, just when she
enters the house, she just goes.
And then sometimes when she's in between, like when she spills the ice cream, and she's about, you can see in her face she's about to switch, but she's in public, so she has to hold it together. It's a brilliant transformation.
God damn it. Transforming away. Dial hate your hero.
Oh yeah, true. The inspiration for Ben 10.
Yeah.
Ben 10's
I can definitely understand why Dial H failed so badly.
Yeah.
Just the concept and everything that happens in it is kind of just like, it's a weird niche. It's definitely a weird niche within a comic book community of like, who the fuck knows who Dial H for Hero is? He has such a weird power. His power is a dial that allows him to transform into any superhero. And
but it's random.
Yeah, it's random, and it's also I think it has a little bit a mix of magic and whatnot, because if he transforms into that hero, and whoever transformation he has taken, they can no longer use their powers. But he gains everything that they are capable of, as long as they classified as a hero. It's a really weird one. There are other dials as well, like there's a villain one. I think there's a sidekick one as well. Like, there's a lot of weird ones. But yeah, I can understand why that didn't work as well. It has had a lot of tries as of late. I think it does have like a rebirth shit as well, like a new thing, like a sort of small. But bounty shush. But yeah, then you also obviously have Ben 10. Ben 10's transformation is just kind of like that's what it is. Transformed into 10 aliens. You get 10. Each one of them offers something different. Some of them can further transform.
I like how each one is generally unique, and each one generally has its strengths and weaknesses. Like, some tend to make the other one redundant. Like, Echo can... Like, when Echo came out, he sort of, at least within combat, made Ditto almost redundant. But most of the time, every alien is unique. Every alien offers something to some extent. I mean, even when you got ones like Fast Track, which I think Fast Track was weird. I felt like he was always worse than Accelerate. Yeah. I think there was a thing where Fast Track was slightly stronger than Accelerate, but he couldn't control his speed as well, so he ended up not being as fast as Accelerate, and I always felt that was very, very, very interesting. Compared to and then the Ultimates sort of added more to that, and then you got Omnitrix, which is then adds fusions into the mix, where it's like, oh, you turn into why have one alien when you turn into all, or when mix two together. I felt like that was. I like the Biometrics. I think the Biometrics is really creative and it's really cool. And it's nice to imagine what would happen if you added certain aliens together. What would happen? And it really.
A lot of fan art. That's what will happen.
Oh, that guy the guy who does all the biometrics, all the biometric transformations. That's cool. That's just really cool. I tip my hat off to him. But yeah, I feel like the Ben 10 transformations. I mean, there is a soft spot I have, but you know, I love them. They're fantastic. And also, I mean, the animations they played whenever he transformed. Yeah, those were cool. I got annoyed when they
painful.
Those were cool.
Yeah.
They sort of.
I think they did get repetitive, and I can understand.
Yeah.
They did get repetitive, and I can understand why they stopped doing it.
I would have liked them to have done like maybe variations on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's essentially the same shit every time, except for like the end bit.
But then there's this really cool scene where he transforms, where Ben, I can't remember who he's fighting, but he does this run up off this ramp. He jumps up, these missiles fire at him, but then he transforms as soon as they hit him into forearms. So then you just see him like descending through the smoke. As forearms, that's sick. Some of the transformations he does.
You know what's something that's very interesting that we have not talked about at all. Transformers. It's Transformers. They transform. They go from car to big robot.
I'll tell you what, I'm rather guilty. I've not seen any of the Transformers cartoon, or
why is that guilty?
Well, because I've only seen some of the movies.
I'm sure that's a lot of people.
Yeah, true.
I don't think a lot of people have watched cartoons of Transformers, and most of the cartoons, especially of recently, I think are a lot more directed towards children.
I mean, cartoons generally are.
Yeah, but younger audiences.
Yeah.
You have the other ones which are niche between like.
But the toys are cool. You get a toy and you transform it.
That is definitely one though. That's definitely one for toy sales, I feel. But those toys were always very interesting in terms of how they transformed. I remember having a rock one, like it wasn't a Transformer, but it was like a rip-off of the Transformer.
I think I had a rock one as well. I think so.
Yeah.
I had that. I had like a cheetah. I can't remember what he turned into, but he turned into something. I think you know what I think it was. I think it was just a cheetah that turned into a man. I think that's all it was.
Well, isn't that kind of But to a point, I can understand like why people would say like Transformers are a bit boring and kind of played out as well, because it's like at a certain point you've got to see like they're all essentially the same shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing really unique about it, and then they add in extra shit like the ancient crap and whatnot.
But I did like the idea of how you got a car and it's not a car anymore. It's a robot. It's a big super robot.
But then I get more interested in like how weapons transform and shit. Like how weapons can like lightsaber goes from boop boop boop.
Yeah. Do lightsabers transform?
Not really.
Does anyone transform in Star Wars? I don't think. I can't think of anyone who transforms.
Han Solo. He becomes a stone.
Yeah, he becomes a rock, isn't he? Yeah. That's true.
I really don't know. Cloning. I don't think anyone really transforms. I feel like their emotional state and kind of way of thinking transforms.
Oh, I suppose Sith do.
Yes,
Because Sith, when they become Sith, their eyes become yellow.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I think the Jedi's are the more things of like, oh, they can potentially transform like between like the mid stages of grey to Jedi to the fucking Siths. It's all about like the way they think.
No, they transform into a Force ghost when they die.
Yeah, they transform into a Force ghost. They become ghosts.
Piss off, ghost.
Piss off, ghost. Korg.
Yeah, Korg, what a mad dog. He doesn't need to transform. That is his final form.
That is his final form.
Oh, what about Shaggy's transformations?
Shaggy has a lot of transformations. He became a Jedi. He became a Jedi. He has Ultra Instinct. Shaggy is a fucking beast. He beat Jiren and he one tapped Jiren. You know, he did all that crap. Oh god.
What other things have we watched with transformations?
Partially Kill the Kill.
Yeah, Kill, yeah, true.
I feel like Gurren Lagann is much more of a thing with it because it's more obvious and blatant with how like the mech transforms over time. But Kill the Kill, yeah, there's some.
I would say they would because sometimes they do because in when like
what's her name, Nui or whatever.
Yeah, but then when also Matoi transforms, it changes her hair as well. A bit. It doesn't just. It's not just the outfit changes. Her hair does change as well.
Yeah.
And I think with the other ones they must, but I couldn't be too sure. But yeah, she definitely does transform. Like her body does change. And then when she goes Super Saiyan, towards the end, yeah, that's a. But then you know, I mean, on that note, people that change a lot, that transform a lot. You know, Mayuri Kuratsuchi, he changes a lot. He transforms a lot. His hair transforms a lot. Oh, but you know who else transforms? Cone. Big man, big buff man.
Big buff man. Cone.
And then he becomes. Well, you take the thing out and put him into another. It's not transformation.
No.
It's more body swapping, but you know.
It's something. I mean, it's transforming from a perspective, from one body to the next.
Yeah. But yeah, when he goes buff, that's definitely a transform. He's becoming big boy, man.
Like
big man
in Dragon Ball, I think, but like that's also very clear. It's like their transformation is very clear, but it's very different at the same time. Because obviously you have Frieza who just has the natural ki transformations over time, blah blah blah, part of his species. You have Cell who first metamorphosized and then had to absorb to gain more to become perfect Cell. And then you just have Margin who can just absorb whatever the hell he wants. And then he just gains that. Like when he absorbed Gohan and whatnot. Isekai.
I mean, Isekai with SAO doesn't really do anything.
Isekai.
At least not from what I can remember.
Isekai. Everything's an Isekai. Dragon Ball's an Isekai.
It is an Isekai.
It is.
I'm looking at some other shows here on this. Toaru. Who transforms into Toaru?
His left arm. No, his right arm.
True.
No one really transforms into Toaru. From memory. A lot more just happened because of their power or not.
Yeah. Plexus, he sort of gets the horns.
The flames that appear and everything.
And the flames, yeah. Little Witch. I don't think many people transform in that.
But
oh, well, no, hang on. No, they can. They've got the metamorphosis spell.
Yeah. The chicken.
Where they transform. And then... But I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and then you got, my favourite girl. She...
Horsula.
Yeah, Ursula. She can...
Horsula.
Transform her look to different look. No one transforms in No Game No Life. I mean, they don't really do powers though. At least from what I've seen, they don't really do like things like that.
Not really. No.
Kokias, I can't remember anyone transforming.
Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, I suppose so. Yeah.
I mean, that's the guy. He's a fucking Ninetales. What? Ninetales usually are the ones that transform and change. Speaking of that, sexy jutsu.
Oh my god, how did we not talk about that?
We keep coming back to Naruto and Dragon Ball for some reason.
Oh my god.
That's a transformation.
It is. Oh my god, bro. Bro. I mean.
Because I was just thinking about Ninetales.
I mean. That jutsu. I mean. Let's be honest. That is one of the best transformations. It helped win the war. It helped win the war.
It did.
Without that jutsu, they would have lost.
Yeah.
Without sexy jutsu, they would have lost.
That is very true. Very, 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 very true.
And if anyone dismisses sexy jutsu, then you're just wrong. You're just wrong.
Fair enough.
I can't believe we forgot about that. But one thing I don't like about their transformation jutsu is I felt like they didn't explain it that well. Because the problem I had was that, like, they have the transformation jutsu, but then it, like, why can't you just transform into something like a bird and fly? You know what I mean? They never really explain that. And considering they've transformed into other dumb shit, and obviously their mass doesn't seem to have much of an issue, and they can transform into other things. It's like, well, why can't they do this? And I don't think I felt like it wasn't explained that well. But other than that, no, yeah, their transformation jutsus become anyone.
True.
Ask Jiraiya. I mean, what's Jiraiya gonna say? He's dead.
Tsunade transforms.
She does. She's constantly transformed.
I mean, technically, we were talking about metamorphosis in the very beginning about like how normal animals transform, and even in Naruto they have the frogs, toads. They transform. Just look at fucking Gamakichi. Bigger.
I don't know. They sort of transform in Excel World when they go they go into their like their I can't remember. I haven't seen that fucking anime in a while, but when they go into that stuff, when they go into the game, they transform, which is sort of what Alex is with how the isekai is sort of you going into that.
There are a lot of isekai where nothing changes for you as well.
But I mean, some of them.
Yeah. Usually the ones that aren't about a game or whatever, those types of isekais, you just you get fuck nothing. There are a lot of them.
What about? I mean, we sort of already talked about Pokemon. Like, what about other video game transformations?
Let's say a little bit about
like, I mean,
Digimon transforms.
Oh yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh's a bit of a weird one. Because Yu-Gi-Oh like you can add on and crap with other cards, and like it's all about like spell cards change and whatnot. You have like a card that most Yu-Gi-Oh fans will know, Polarization, which is linked with dragons and how they like can partially fuse and transform or not.
I mean,
But even still, those are very less. Those
Paladin's transformations.
What transformations in Paladins? What?
I mean, who transforms in that game?
What? Worm. Bolt of big worm.
Yeah, the worm becomes Rolly and it becomes Sten Still. I feel like someone transforms.
The worm. I said worm. That's it.
No, like someone actually like their form actually fully changes.
No, you might be thinking about Smite. Ruckus.
Oh, Victim in his skin, sure.
Yeah, but skins don't count as proper
Someone
transformation.
does. Someone does. I feel like someone does. Out of
Someone
all
in
their
Smite
champions.
does.
Someone in Smite does.
Yeah. They transform into someone else to gain their ult.
I need a bit of help here.
Rage. Who transforms?
Hang on, let's go pull that shit.
No one.
I feel like someone does. I mean, Bomb King just turns into a big bomb and rolls.
Yeah, he's already a big bomb.
Furia just sort of gets a power. She goes sort of Super Saiyan, but she doesn't.
Yeah, a lot of them
overall
become Super
change.
Saiyans. Makoba, Tyra, Buck, sort of.
Koga becomes a blur. Oh, well, no, okay, no, I know he transforms. Pip doesn't transform, but he transforms others.
Okay.
Same with Moji.
Okay. Yep, fair enough. So transforming.
No, I'm
others.
surprised. I'm surprised there's not there. I don't know. There isn't.
I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised. No, I am.
I'm not.
They don't have someone who doesn't. They don't have anyone who transforms.
I'm not surprised with how Paladins works.
Well, I'm just thinking of their ultimates, but some people do transform to some extent. Because
Add-ons and crap.
Maldumba becomes a little snake thing as he slithers.
Yeah, but he's still himself when he slithers.
Grok becomes a ghost.
Ceres becomes an actual ghost.
Yeah, true.
Oh, Evie becomes an ice block.
She does too, doesn't she?
Proper transformation right there. Imani changes.
But she doesn't become the dragon.
Well, your perspective changes though.
Yeah. I mean, Terminus, I suppose, sort of transforms.
Goku transforms.
He dies and he comes back.
Wait, Terminus transforms.
Well, he dies. He breaks, and then he comes back. You know.
Not all the time.
You two annoy me. Imani changes elements in her abilities, not the dragon. Fuck you.
A brief appearance. He's made his point.
But again, like I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking a lot more about physically changing an appearance.
Yeah, I'm still surprised.
Not just
I don't
changing
know. I
power.
feel like it's something that I don't know. I feel like it's something that have, but they don't.
Because even then, it's like, can we really say that that's a proper transformation if they swap powers? Because like you have Merlin and Smite. Merlin does a similar thing where he just changes his.
But her body somewhat is transforming. Like it does change. Her body does change. Her arms change when she. switches to ice, or when she switches to
It's also just
to
kind of part
fire.
of her power as well.
It is.
It's
but
like
still,
it's like
still
when the
changes.
Flash uses his light, when he runs, it's like lightning comes off. It's like I don't really call that a transformation.
No, nor would I. But I don't think
When he
it's the
goes
same
from
thing.
normal running to fucking
But I don't
speedster
think
running.
it's the same thing. Her powers come from her gloves, and her gloves change to a color, thus allowing her to use that element. It changes to ice so she can use ice, or it changes to fire so she can use fire. It's not like it's a byproduct of her ability. It is her ability. The Flash's lightning, it's a byproduct of the ability. It's what's created when he uses it. Yeah, Yaggorath becomes a little thing.
A ball. Ball.
Yeah,
They should add the Paladin's character who can shapeshift.
I think it's because there's characters in Overwatch that can. Like, I mean,
Even Smite has characters who can do it. That's why it's like, why isn't Paladins? They have the ability. Just let them do it. Make a Paladin's character who can do it. Make him a flank.
Yeah, Echo can, in Overwatch can shapeshift. Can Overwatch shapeshift? I don't think so. I think it's mainly well, Bastion. No, Bastion can transform. He goes between two modes. Diva just gets to do a mech. I wouldn't consider that transformation. Reaper, I don't know, but I know about what his ability does. Like the idea behind his ability to understand whether it's him transforming or him just going super fast. Winston becomes Angry Monkey.
Angry Monkey.
The rest I don't think.
Saints say their armor kind of change and shit, golden cloths and whatnot. Again, and more shonen crap. Ooh, hello.
Yeah, I would have expected more of him to do something. I think that's.
Yeah, this was a very fillerish kind of episode anyway.
Yeah.
This is already fillerish enough. I think we can just shut the hell up about transformations. We might do a 9x9 of transformations at some point.
Yeah.
Later down the line.
Yeah.
Just to revisit the topic, as well as get a much more clear opinion on our own chosen ones and why we like it, and we can go in a bit more in depth. This is just a weird sort of rant of nothing.
Yeah.
Of a filler thing with one of our members missing, partially.
One member only, you know.
Yeah.
He was here, but then he wasn't here.
Oh no. Where did he go? Where did he go?
I don't know.
There he is! Oh no, he's gone.
Yes.
He was there, what happened? No one knows. Oh well.
Well, I think that's a good spot to end it for the episode.
That's right.
Thank you for listening to us talk about transformations.
I pissed my pants.
Shows up at the end. Fantastic.
He shows. Fine, you know what? Yeah.
I can hear how bad my microphone is on the stream.
And